Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. It's time to think outside of the circle. Pun intended.
Tapletopics.
Yes, I'm a little nervous. If you were to teach a class on pie, what fun activities would you include? Toastmaster Ty Patton.
Well, good morning. Toastmasters, distinguished guests, members at the head table, and Tapletopics master. What would be, I'll tell you, when we're talking about ties, I have no competition. I am the best tie that this club has ever had. Of course, I will remark that I am the only tie that this club has ever had, so that helps a lot. One of the things that is very interesting is when we're talking about motifs and having repeated patterns, some of them can be quite attractive. Others, not so much. And I think we've all seen those. I mean, the motif of her blouse. Just lovely. Look at the yellow, how it blends in. It just makes it all come alive. However, others, like you say, not so much. Well, see, now here's an example of what's not fun.
What is your favorite pie to make or eat? Toastmaster Blake Smith. Distinguished Toastmaster.
Oh, boys and girls. I have been raised south of the Mason-Dixon line. I married a Southern belle, a Georgia peach, with their proud Southern heritage. What is my favorite pie? Well, let's go into some of the ingredients. You might have a graham cracker crust. You can have some Karo syrup. You can melt down some brown sugar. Sometimes you can put in a little bit of Kentucky bourbon. And then what you do, though, is you pound the fruit of Georgia to a fine mesh. I'm talking about pecans. I used Joreen Carroll's recipe. She was my mother-in-law's best friend, and she gave me a recipe for pecan pie. I tell you what, it tastes so good, I wish I had motifs so I could eat it more. Thank you so much.
Do you think pi is a fun number? Why or why not? Toastmaster Kelly Vetti.
Kelly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, you know, when I heard that the topic was Pi Day, I thought I might have an edge in this motif. March 14th, which is 3.14, which is the number representing the ratio of pi, and I was a geometry teacher. So, I was a geometry teacher. So, I thought, well, I might have an edge here. But who among us can compete with Blake Smith talking about pecan pie? So that's just not fair to the rest of us. Now, is 3.14 a fun number? I have to admit, while I taught high school math, I was a history and classical studies major, and I was not the best math teacher. My attempt at getting my high school kids to get excited about math was to talk about Pythagoras, the ancient Greek philosopher who did come up with the Pythagorean theorem, but he also thought that beans had souls. So, kind of a weird guy. All right, thank you.
Pi Day celebrates a mathematical constant. How does the idea of a constant relate to life or personal growth? Toastmaster Gary Adams.
The geometry teachers, the amazing pecan pie maker, although chocolate pecan pie is my favorite, absolute favorite. So how does pi tie in? Pi is an interesting number. You know, there was a movie. Who saw the movie Pi? Anybody? Or was I the only weird person? Okay, not the only. Jordan, of course you did. Think way too much about the motif of all the things pi, because I was very enthralled with math and equations and symbols, and I came up with this weird theory that you can't draw a circle without it, when it connects back to itself, you end up with a dot from your pen. So that was my weird definition of how pi worked, because there was no such thing as making a perfect circle. But then, to be more simplistic, can anyone actually make a perfect cut on a pie? That first cut, you have this vision of how you're going to divide up that pie. But no matter how hard you try, that little minor variance is the 0.14. Thank you.
Why do you think pi has fascinated mathematicians for centuries? Toastmaster Roy Shearer.
This is the hearing impaired section.
Sorry. Of course. Why do you think pi has fascinated mathematicians for centuries?
Can everyone see me who wants to?
Wants to, yes.
Well, I think the reason I was fascinated mathematicians for centuries is they don't have anything better to do. Free. Have you ever had the, well, first of all, I wanted to tell you that I made the mistake of inviting Jordan to dinner last night. What happened? He arrived about the rest of the, when the guests were leaving. They were, a couple other having dessert wine. So, hi. I had the misfortune of sitting next to for dinner for the occasion to a mathematician. The challenge is you to try and stay awake. I'm feeling that challenge right now.
Would you rather eat pie or pizza on Pi Day, and why? Toastmasters Benjamin Urrutia.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Good morning. I'm also in the math field, and I don't believe I would eat any of those. But this my thing is pervading throughout the mathematician community. And on the first part I was living there, and you see this constant everywhere. I said, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to eat pie. Oh, why is it constant? Well, it's constantly pie. So this is a good thing, because now you want to find the circumference, then you use pie. When you do this and that, you use pie. So, also pie is one of my favorite types of food. Yeah? The only thing is that it has contributed to shrinking of my clothes. It is one of those shrinking. It is actually I cannot even bottom my coat anymore. I like pie.
If pi were a person, what kind of personality do you think it would have? Toastmaster Jordan Kamaker.
Jordan.
Madam Topic Master, I think the first thing we can know conclusively is that the pie would have a well-rounded personality. I'm listening to all this stuff, it would have appeal. Who knows? And I listened to this. You didn't tell us the rest of the story. You know, being in the math department. Do you know why that was a problem for Kelly? Why? Because she was dabbling with weapons of math instruction. So I would really like to have that pie. I tried some of the pecan pie with those nuts in there, and it started to hurt. As I said to my son, what's the problem with the pie and the nuts in my teeth? He says, Dad, you're 69. It's got nuts in it. You need motif.
If pie was a metaphor for something in your life, what would it represent? Toastmaster Sean Tucker.
Thank you, Tapletopics Master. I was a metaphor for something in my life. Pie is a metaphor for something in my life. I'm just thinking about that. Pie is happiness. Pie is surplus. Pie means things are going well and you're having dessert. That your wife took a little extra time, rolled out that handmade crust, because my wife cooks, and she cooks home-cooked, country food. She makes chicken pot pie from scratch this time of year at least once a month. Rolls out the whole crust, pulls the chicken apart, does the vegetables. Oh my God, is it good. It's so good, people call us and ask if they can come get leftovers, which of course there are none. We don't do that. Pie is a metaphor for all kinds of things. For to clear a couple of things up, pizza is a pie. Pizza pie, that's right. Thank you.
What is your take on pi being infinite? What does it mean to you? Toastmaster Regina Resende. Yes. What is your take on pi being infinite? What does that mean to you?
Infinite?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about math and those things. When I was in middle school, I was going to go to high school. 6 months before, I told my mother, I have a serious conversation with you. I'm going to fail this year if I keep studying geometry, physics, and all those things. Can you move me to another school? Do you have another school in mind? Yes, I do. Everything is all set. I just have to change routes. Zero. I never saw those things that I hate. I only like history, philosophy, so pies to me, the sweet ones and the other ones, not my kind of thing.
How would you explain the importance of pie in everyday life? Toastmaster Mark Ehlers.
Marky Mark.
Pie is a very important way for me to satisfy my sugar addiction. In fact, kind of interesting, last week I went upstairs at the office and there happened to be a key lime pie sitting in the kitchen. And somebody had already taken a piece out, so I took that to mean it was available to me. So I quickly cut a piece, put it on a plate, got a fork, and kind of scrounged it down real quick. Threw the plate away so nobody knew. And then I thought, you know what? That was really a good key lime pie. So I went back and got another piece. thing. So that's kind of my way of dealing with my addiction.
Do you prefer sweet or savory pies? Why? Toastmaster Alex Stansu.
Yeah, that one.
Morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning.
I prefer sweet pies because I merely have a sweet tooth. So, as pi is an infinite number, for me that's an excuse for infinite dessert. And back in high school, pie used to be my favorite day. So why, you may ask? My math teacher, for those 4 years, always held a pie baking competition during Pie Day. And what we had to do is everyone goes home, makes their favorite recipe, comes in and presents it, and she's the judge. And we were all excited, not because we got to bake a pie, but because the winner got to pie her in the face.
What is the most memorable pie you've ever eaten? Toastmaster is it Felicia or Felicia? Shorter? Which do you prefer? Felicia.
The best pie I've ever eaten is from Papa. You may wonder why. Why? Pie is a motif for my dad. Because he loved that Edwards pie. The key mark pie. But you want to know why I like the public version? Because they have both of them. I don't get one. I get two for half price with the coupon almost free. Don't go to public. Both go. Have a good time. Enjoy your pie.
Last one. If you could make Pi Day a national holiday, how would you celebrate? Toastmaster Francine? Julene, thank you.
Ooh, good morning, Winter Power. Good morning. I would celebrate any day by dancing. And that is why, as the conference chair this year, I chose the motif of dancing for our conference. Who's been to conference? Okay, so you know Friday night we dress up? That's right. You can dress up as any kind of a dance style. I'm going to be a belly dancer. So if you want to come see me belly dance at conference, you got to register. You have to register now.
No.
Timer. Did all Toastmaster participant or Tapletopics participants qualify?